Greetings class, I'm Krishna. This video is being recorded for Dr. Grant's class, which is Advanced Digital Media Technologies at Eastern Illinois University. Today we'll be seeing how to work on a DSLR camera. The one which I have here right now is a Nikon D3100, which is a pretty much basic version in the DSLR cameras. So for professional photography, first thing we need to do is to set the focus to manual. Let me set my camera's focus. Okay, that's good. So by default it will be set to automatic, so we need to change it to manual and make sure the mode is set to manual. Whenever we change the object, the focus need to be reset. So let me turn on the camera. So on the LCD screen we can see different options there. So once we click on the information button here, the I, so we can see all the options, and we can set the options with these navigation keys here. The 4 keys are on the OK button. So the first thing we'll be seeing is white balance, which is the WB, which is set to auto right now. So so the white balance, which is by default automatic, we can set it to incandescent light, which is the bulb in the house, white fluorescent, which is usually in the offices, and direct sunlight, which is outdoors normally. The second thing we have here is ISO, which is the sensitivity. The lesser the ISO, the higher the sunlight, which means basically used for outdoors. So when it is set to 100, the highest sunlight, and when it is set to 200, sunlight is a little bit low. So similarly, like 400, 800. For 800 it's like almost dark, and all these are almost dark, but there's a little bit lighting. So 3200 is the highest, which has least natural light, so it will be better if we use that. And the next one is active delighting, which is for contrast for the picture, which should be on by default, and we need to set it to on. And the next one is movie recording settings, which is set to 1080p at 24 frames per second, which is the default one, where we get the highest pixel clarity. And the next one we'll be seeing is exposure, which is for plus or minus. This is used to set the light, like to increase the light we need to go positive, to decrease it negative. By default it will be set to 0. The next one we have here is flash, which means the brightness that we need to set. We may increase or reduce the flash. By default it will be set to 0 again, just like the exposure. And the next one we'll be seeing is shutter speed. So right now it is set to 1 by 50. We can increase the shutter speed by turning this wheel on the top right corner. So if we turn it towards right, it will reduce. If we turn it towards left, it will increase. So we can see it was going towards the positive sign. The next one we have here is optimal the aperture, where we can set it by clicking the small button which says plus or minus beside the mode button. By clicking it and turning this wheel on the top right corner, we can set the aperture. So we can increase or reduce it, and the best option we have here is to set it to 0, so that we'll get the best image. When it is an automatic it will be directly set, but we are using manual mode, so we need to set it to 0. Also we can see the light that the lens is taking here, so it's being increased. This is how we work on Nikon 3100. I'm sorry. So we'll be seeing a few clips that I have recorded at Stevenson Tower Dining.